Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm here to add my 2 cents into the mid-year bookish freak out tag conversation. So essentially what that is kind of superlatives from the year so far. It's August now, but June, July is kind of midway through. So just checking in, some favorites, some disappointments. You'll get the gist as we move along. Question number 1, what is the best book that you've read so far this year? The answer to this is going to be Score by Kennedy Bryan. This is book 2 in her Harlem Renaissance series, with Real being the first one. This is Verity and Monk's story in its second chance romance, which is... I need to do a tier list soon of my favorite tropes, but I think second chance romance is top 3 for sure. Verity and Monk knew each other in college and absolutely in love, absolutely infatuated with each other. But Verity is coming of age and finding out about her bipolar diagnosis and kind of how that affects her. So there's a situation that leads to them splitting. Once they enter the same orbit again, there is no stopping them being together. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful story. Very character driven, and you can tell that Kennedy was super intentional about her research and just describing the different characters that we got to see and the diagnosis in different people as well. Like not only through our main character, but through her parents, through some of her friends. So I think it was just a really beautiful and well-written story. And then you add the fact that the romance was like 10 out of 10. Now for the book that has disappointed me the most. And honestly, there's a couple of books that have done that, but this one is taking the cake. Trope Sick by Lauren Oakey. This was just a train wreck. And I think what drew me to the book was also the same reason why it failed so miserably. What she was attempting to do was to have all of these different tropes: forced proximity, grumpy sunshine, brother's best friend, girl next door, and like smush them into a book. And they even mentioned Beach Read at the beginning. I feel like it was also trying to be a play on Beach Read, these two people. Beach Read and Great Big Beautiful Life a little bit, but these two people are working on this manuscript together. The manuscript is the tropes that they are currently living through. Just a mess. Now. I always have to mention this little caveat. I listened to the book. I did not do an eyeball read. I didn't do a combo. The narrators really took me out of it. It sounded like either they were automated, which I guess is completely possible now, or these people just learned how to read. There was no like intonation in their voice. There was no reflection. I just didn't enjoy it. So I feel like I have to say that maybe that's affecting the story a little bit, but not by much at all. In fact, I think I'd be even more upset if I wasn't distracting myself while doing other things. So I think it was for the best that I listened to the audiobook instead of reading it. My biggest surprise so far this year is Lady Tremaine. This is a retelling of Cinderella's stepmother. I think it's clear by now on this channel that I do enjoy a retelling, and especially if it's one that you just wouldn't expect. Like, I kid you not, when I was watching Cinderella as a young kid, whatever, I was not thinking about, is the stepmother gonna get a redemption story? Is she really evil? None of those things crossed my mind. But this book made you think about those things. And honestly, I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the setting and like the world building as well. I don't even know if you could call it like a magical system, but it did have those fantasy elements in it. I didn't know what to expect going into this, and I was truly pleasantly surprised. A sequel that I was anticipating was And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. This is book 2 in the Heartstring series, following First Time Caller, which is top 10 romances of 2025 for me. So obviously I was really anticipating its follow-up, and I was moderately disappointed. Jackson and Delilah had their cute moments for sure, but this feels like one of those situations where the characters, like, they're getting their opportunity to be the main characters. However, I like them more as side characters in the other books, which is problematic. If I like the characters so much, when it's their turn to have a story, I feel like you should really bank on that. And a lot of people were looking forward to Jackson and Delilah. And not that they weren't good. Not that they weren't good, but they were very mediocre. This was like the epitome of a 3-star read for me this year. A book that made me cry. We're going to go with Ken by Tayari Jones. Tayari Jones is just, like, to me, an underrated author in general. But Ken talked about maternal relationships. So one of the main characters, her mom had passed away. So she is kind of grappling with the idea of mourning a relationship that she doesn't even know or can't even begin to understand what it would have looked like. And then the other main character, her mom is alive but kind of abandoned her. So she's also grieving and also processing and really just exploring how these two girls essentially started off in the same place, both being motherless, but their lives took completely different turns. Beautiful story, beautiful writing, and I did cry quite a few times while reading it, just like I did when I was reading An American Marriage. So if you are in the mood for a tearjerker, pick up something by Tayari Jones. My current prediction for book of the year is, or let's just say romance of the year. Right now, it's between Score by Kennedy Ryan and Big Girl Blitz by Danielle Allen. It's gonna be tough, but those two are neck and neck right now. A book that cured my reading slump is The Divorce by Frida McFadden. This is some of Frida's best work, y'all. Like, y'all know that Frida is somebody that doesn't sleep, somebody that gets an idea and writes a book. So with that being said, it can either be a hit or miss when it comes to her stuff sometimes. But this one is a hit, punch, kick combo. It's her typical type of writing style, POV switch style, but the book starts with one of the main characters essentially being like, my husband wants to divorce me. No, he tells her, you're gonna go stay at this other place while we renovate for a little while. Then next thing you know, once she's out of the house, he's like, I want a divorce. New girlfriend comes in and we see them going back and forth. The ex-wife doesn't want to let go of her life, her husband, and their child. And then the new girlfriend is kind of trying to move on with their life and be part of this new family because their relationship is progressing. Drama ensues. As far as Frida favorites goes, this is up there with Never Lie and The Housemaid for me. And last question is, what has been my favorite review / video that I filmed this year? And it's two. It's the historical fiction video, just because I really enjoyed putting a lot of those reads out there, and they're not completely unknown reads by any means, but I feel like they are a lot that I hadn't seen being talked about, but a lot that are important for various reasons in terms of historical fiction and Black people. And then the second one would be the Meeting Ashley Poston vlog, just because I have been talking about going to bookish events for a long time and author signings for a long time. So that was my first one. And it kind of just feels significant to me because it's like proof that I'm growing. And there was a certain time where I would have been scared to do anything like that by myself, and there was part of me that was still a little nervous, but I did it anyway. I had a great time. I got to meet some cool people. So 10 out of 10 experience. That is it for my mid-year bookish freakout tag. So far, I have had a lot of heavy hitters, but I'm expecting that the second half of the year has some 5 stars for me as well. I want to hear from you too. Make sure you tell me some of your favorites from this year books that you're excited to read, books that disappointed you so that I can know to stay away from them. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can always know when I'm posting fun things for you. In the description, there are other places you can find me like TikTok, Instagram, my book of the month link. All of that conveniently down there for you to just dibble and dabble in. I'm about to resume my current read, and I will see you guys in the next video.